Here come the Blue Angels. And there goes Bill Nye the Science Guy. Let's go into the cockpit as the aircraft executes a 6G maneuver.
Get on.
What a wacky guy. Bill Nye.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Science rules.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill Nye the Science Guy is brought to you by the hip new beats of cardio and the...
You have muscles all over your body that help you move around. Some of them you can control, like the ones in your arms. Some of them you don't or can't control, like when your stomach growls. But there's one muscle that's always working all the time. You can't see it. It's right here. And without it, you're not going anywhere. Oh. Yeah. This will get the old heart rate up. Yep. This is a big heart rate machine. Listen. Your heart is a muscle, about as big as your fist, just like the muscles in your hand. But it never relaxes. For such a small muscle, it does a huge job. Your heart is always beating, but you never have to think about it. Take a look at this. Phew. It's our larger-than-life heart model of science. Your heart is a pump.
It is the pump.
It pushes blood all over your body.
It's the heart's job to keep the blood in motion.
Your blood carries fuel, energy from your food, and oxygen. Plus, your blood carries your body's waste away, too. Your heart sends blood in 2 directions every time it beats. The blue blood has very little oxygen. It comes from your body, and your heart pumps it to your lungs, where it gets recharged with oxygen. The red, oxygen-rich blood gets pushed from the lungs back to your heart. And from there, gets sent to all the other parts of your body, what we call your system.
The heart powers the circulatory system. It is the pump.
To send blood 2 ways at once, your heart has 2 sides, and each side has 2 parts or chambers. So altogether, we've got 4 chambers. Now, to make this work, your heart has valves, like gates, between the top chambers and the bottom chambers. Without the valves, this pump wouldn't work. It's a cycle. Your heart pumps blood to your lungs, back to your heart, to your system, and back to your heart, and it does it all the time. And it's only this big, and you don't have to think about it.
Valves keep the liquid flowing in one direction.
Warning. What you're about to see is a real human heart. This isn't going to be another rubber prop heart. Nope, this baby is real. A real working, pumping human heart, surrounded by lots of blood and guts. If you are faint of heart or get queasy, parents, do you hands over your eyes yet?
Take a lesson from your heart.
Day and night, in steady rhythm, there operates within the human body a marvelous machine, the heart.
The normal heart beats anywhere from 60 to 100 beats per minute while at rest. For example, my resting heartbeat is about 70. But when you're sleeping, your body doesn't need as much oxygen, so your heartbeat is lower. And when you're scared, your heartbeat speeds up. It's like your body is sending a message to your heart saying pump more blood. Scientists call this the fight or flight response. Go, run, 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 hut two, go, go, go. heartbeat also speeds up when you're doing intense physical exercise because your muscles need more oxygen to function. And the thing about exercise is, although it makes your heart beat faster, it also strengthens your heart, which is a muscle, and that's good. Red.
From the sprightly action of babyhood down through the years to the sedate pace of old age, the heart beats about 2.5 billion times.
Electricity makes your muscles move. I've attached wires to my arm right here. And when I hit this switch, electricity will go through my skin to nerves in my arm and make my muscles contract. Watch. Here we go. Your heart is a muscle too, and electricity makes it contract. So right here, or right here, on the right side of your heart wall, there's a patch of nerves that sends an electrical signal to your heart and makes it pump, 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 about once a second, all day, all night, pump, 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 your whole life. Now these nerves are your natural pacemaker, or your sinoatrial nerves.
The pacemaker. It acts like a spark plug to begin each heartbeat, stimulating the muscles in the atria to contract, and setting off a second concentration of cells which stimulates the ventricles to contract.
He was a promising young surgeon and a plumber.
We're losing it. Retractor. Nurse.
Doctor, you're working on the wrong pump. That is a fish tank pump, not a heart pump.
Either way, it's still a pump. Retractor.
He's Hank Hartley, MD, and pipe fitter.
For this, I need one of these.
Ouch.
Your heart muscle is special. It's different from every other muscle in your whole body. Take a look at these. These are our microscopic slides of science. This slide is a microscopic view of muscles like the ones in your arm. See the bars? They're called striations, or stripes. When these muscles move, they contract. They move together like these pieces of tubing. Striated muscles are what we call skeletal muscles. They make your skeleton move. Now this is a microscopic picture of muscles like the ones in your stomach. There are no stripes. These muscles contract slowly, and they can stay contracted a long time. They're called smooth muscle. And they don't pull as hard as the powerful muscles in your arm, and they don't move as quickly, but they hardly ever get tired. Smooth muscles tighten like this hose. Now this is a slide of heart muscle. See how it's a little bit like smooth muscle and a little bit like striated muscle? Heart muscles don't get tired, but they're very strong, and they work without you having to think about them. Oh.
Both smooth and skeletal muscle cells will contract only when our nervous system commands them to. Only cardiac muscle cells can contract on their own. They have the ability to start and transmit their own electrical impulses to contract.
Your heart's a muscle, and like any muscle, you can make it stronger by exercising. So, try walking, running, jumping, hiking, diving, leaping, swimming, or riding a bike. Right now, my heart is beating about twice as fast as it does when I'm resting. And it's squeezing about 7 times as much blood all around my body. Down to my bike riding legs, back to my heart, to my lungs, and then back all over my body. Even up to my brain. It's a bike ride, heart pumping party.
During and for a time after exercise, the heart pumps much faster.
So, exercise is exercise for your heart. Is this bothering you? Edgar, do you ever think about your swing?
Always, Bill.
Do you ever think about what they're gonna throw at you? About what's coming?
Always, Bill.
Edgar, you ever think about your heart rate?
Never. I don't have to.
That's right, you don't. Your heart's in there, pumping away, and it sends blood to your legs, into your arms, and even up to your brain. And you never think about it. That's it. For me, it's automatic, too. It's like everybody. You know, maybe I could have played pro ball. Yeah. Heart just beating away and me just swinging away. Just like you. Try this. See, you'll notice that after you use a water balloon for a pump, you have to take it over to a faucet to reload it. That's why your heart has a reloading system.
It is the pump, and pumping blood is its one and only job.
Every time your heart pumps, it leaves your left ventricle and goes up to your system. And it comes back to your right atrium. Then it goes down to your right ventricle, then up to your lungs and your left atrium, and then down again to your left ventricle. So you need all those Latin words so you can go lub-dub. Normally, your blood flows right through your blood vessels. Like these pieces of foam through this pipe. But once in a while, you might injure yourself. You might get a cut, and your blood vessels spring a leak. When that happens, some of your blood comes out here. Now, your blood carries special proteins that stick to the sharp cut edges of your torn blood vessel, and they form what's called a blood clot. Now, blood clots like this are good. They help your body heal. But if you happen to have a deposit of fat, a big deposit of fat, in one of your blood vessels, and a blood clot comes along, well, the blood clot sticks to the fat. And then your blood can't flow through your blood vessels. It jams up. And then the muscles downstream of this can't get enough oxygen. So if this happens to be a blood vessel that leads to your heart, well, it could give you a heart attack. So, blood clots are good. Blood clots on fatty deposits on blood vessels near your heart are bad. So don't take in too much fat or cholesterol, otherwise all your yarn will stick to them.
You mean blood, don't you?
I'm Dr. Salim Aziz, a heart surgeon at the University of Washington, and I work with one of the most amazing organs known to man, the human heart. The heart is a living pump that has its own blood supply. If the artery that supplies the blood to the pump gets blocked, then we have a major problem. In order to fix that problem, we have to stop the heart. And that in itself is an amazing event, because when we stop the heart, the function of the heart has to be taken over by this complex machinery, which has to provide blood to the rest of the body, and it also has to provide blood that is oxygenated, red blood, whilst the heart is stopped, so that the patient can be operated on safely. We're now on full bypass, and the heart-lung machine is taking over the function of the heart and the lungs. The heart is still beating, but it's empty. It's contracting slower. This is the artery that supplies the blood supply to the bulk of the heart, the left artery descending. Now, if you look at the EKG, it's a flat line. The heart is completely stopped. It is not beating. I'm lifting it up. It's nice and cold and soft and empty. This allows us to operate on the heart. Here in my hand, I'm holding a mechanical heart, which has been used in the past to replace the whole heart. It has valves and it has lines that actually deliver the power for the artificial heart to contract. And even this sophisticated device is far, far inferior to the human heart. The heart is an amazing organ, and we must not forget that we should take good care of it.
When you're sitting or squatting, blood is still being pumped to your brain by your heart, like the water sitting up here in this balloon. If you stand up real fast, some of the blood stays down on your legs and your feet, the way the water moved down in this balloon. If you stand up fast enough, you can feel lightheaded or even faint. It happens when you're on a roller coaster or in an airplane doing a maneuver.
There's one thing you've got to know when you're in a fighter plane like this. Your heart is pumped to keep blood in your brain. Well, you're able to do it because your heart is a strong muscle. Believe me, these pilots have very strong hearts. And they exercise to keep their heart muscles in good shape.
Now as we pull up, I'm gonna run for my plane. Power.
Scientist. We all need some fat. There's fat in our feet and our hands, our nerves, our brain. Even our heart has a little fat padding around it. But too much fat, especially animal fat, can be bad. I'm talking about the kind of fat you get from greasy French fries, cheeseburgers, butter, ice cream, or bacon. Remember that bacon grease, when it cools off, looks like this. Ugh. Now this stuff can end up inside your blood vessels. So instead of your blood flowing through a nice clear blood vessel like this, then one that's clogged with fat, like this. Ugh. See, clogging your arteries and blood vessels makes your heart work a lot harder than it needs to. And here's another thing. These foods have a lot of calories. And taking in too many calories can make us gain weight and gain body mass. And then your blood has to travel a lot farther every time it pumps around your body. So, we don't want to eat too much of foods like these. Instead, try foods like these. Fruits and vegetables, beans, grains, non-fat dairy products. They're all foods without very much fat, so they're easy on your heart. Look at that corn. Beautiful corn. Corn.
Your heart pumps blood to all parts of your body. So here's an experiment that shows how gravity affects the work your heart has to do. Hold one of your hands high in the air for 1 minute and keep the other one at your side. Now look at them. Which one is going to be darker and redder? And which one do you think? Or try the other way. Compare them. Which hand is easier for your heart to pump blood to? And which one is harder? Try it, please! You're just sitting there watching me. So easy. Try it!
Some ice-cold goopy jelly. Check it out. We're taking a picture of my heart using sound waves. And you can see the chambers empty and fill up with every beat, and you can see the valves open and close with every lub, dub. You're never going to find a pump that's this efficient, that works this well, that's this durable and will last this long. And you know what? You've got one inside you, and it's free.
You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it. It just does its job all day, all the time, just pumping away. It's just a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful, cool thing. It's amazing. It's astonishing. And it's right there inside you. All you got to do is take care of it.
This next love song goes out to a little bundle of muscle tucked between my lungs. You keep that juice of life flowing through my veins. You know who you are, baby. This one's for you.
Once I met a girl and we fell in love right from the start. And we knew we'd always be together. We could never be apart. I fell in love, so I gave her my heart. Hey, wait a minute. Without my heart, now my blood's not circulating.
Give me back my heart.
I gotta have my heart back, baby. It keeps my blood pumping.
Let's call a surgeon and tell him to put back my heart.
Yeah, that's what we gotta do. We don't have much time. Everything worked out okay, 'cause she gave me her heart. Trouble is, she never exercised. This heart's not very strong at all.
Give me back my heart.
I want my heart back, baby. I've been exercising every day.
Let's call a surgeon and tell him to switch back our heart.
Yeah, that's what we gotta do right away.
Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching. If you'll excuse me, I've got some oxygen uptake to maximize. See ya!
I don't believe it. Bill Nye is running the wrong way.
Produced in association with the National Science Foundation.
What are we trying to learn here?
You're trying to learn how gravity pumps the blood down to your hands, and this one is lighter when you compare, and this one is darker.
No, that has something to do with your heart. How gravity affects your heart.
Yeah, it pumps. Try it. You can try with feet.
Universal language of love. Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching. If you'll excuse me, I've got some maximum oxygen.